Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the hood release cable on this 2003 GMC Envoy XL. And it's the same part and similar process on the regular Envoys from 2002 to 2009. And the items you'll need for this is a new hood release cable from 1AAuto.com, a 7 and 10mm socket and ratchet, a flat blade screwdriver, and white grease.
Okay, first it's always a good idea if you're replacing your cable, it's probably because there's something wrong with your latch mechanisms. So clean it off with a lot of good penetrating oil, and then use some white grease or something to grease it up. Make sure it's good and free. Okay, take a marker or maybe a piece of chalk and mark where your latch is. 3 10mm bolts. So as you pull it up out, you can see how the latch works. You pull the cable inside, and that delatches the system. So if your cable was broken or your handle was broken and you needed to get under the hood, it's possible you could reach from underneath, find this lever, and pull it to unlatch the hood. Probably the last resort would be to try and get through the grill, and you might have to break the grill. 1AAuto, we do sell the grill as well, but you could break the grill and get through. Again, move that lever, but all you want to do to take it off is kind of move it back like this, press the cable down in, and slide it up and off. Okay, and then there's a couple little tabs here. Press, kind of pull on it, press, and then press on the other tab.
Pull up on this panel to release the clips. Just do this all the way along the panel, and then push this panel off right here. It's free. Pull down the insulation and then just remove this 10mm nut. We'll fast forward as Mike does that. And once you remove it, just pull the switch off of that stud.
Okay, so bring your cable up and out, and you want to secure wire or string. This insulated wire is not the best, but I can usually get it on there well enough. You really rather have just some bare wire or a good strong string, and just really put it on there, tie it tight, okay, so that you can feed the cable through and the string stays on it. We're going to remove these 3 bolts. That'll just allow us to pull the panel out a little bit and feed the wire through. There's 2 clips that hold the hood release cable. One's there, I just snapped that one off, and then one's right here. You just want to take them apart. Just use a screwdriver, put it in there, and pry them apart.
Now just feed the cable up and through here, and just keep progressing it down. So pull back your headlight and pull it through this area. we'll just fast forward as Mike continues to do this all the way to the back of the engine bay.
And the cable feeds through this little ground strap, so better for the ground strap and the project if you just remove this 10mm bolt and get it out of there.
Now remove this 7mm bolt right here and that one right there on the opposite side, and we'll fast forward as Mike does this. Now pull the panel down and unclip this harness. Then push in on the tab from this side, right here, and slide that switch back and off. And then just set this panel out of the way. And reach up here and pull back this insulation, and then pull back this insulation, and you can see that grommet right there, and that's the grommet for your hood release cable. Just pull the grommet through that hole. And once you've pulled it through, just pull your hood release cable back and have someone making sure that it doesn't catch on anything in the engine bay, and just keep pulling it through. And then at this point it'll most likely get caught as it tries to go down through the hole there, so just reach up and angle it out, and then untie your wire. On the left is the old hood release cable, on the right is the new one from 1A Auto. You can see they're identical and they'll fit exactly the same. Tie the wire onto your new hood release cable.
So I'll be feeding it up through this end, and you'll need a helper to just kind of pull. You don't want them to pull hard on the wire, but you want them to just give some tension on the wire, and as you feed it up through, make sure it goes through the hole. So you give it a little pull. Okay, hold up. Alright, keep going.
Okay, and we're fast forwarding here, and I'm just reaching up where the grommet goes through and just making sure that the cable goes up through correctly.
So I just put a little hand soap on my finger, and I'm going to reach up in here, pull the insulation back, and just put a little bit of hand soap on the grommet, make it easier to get it into the body of the vehicle. Okay, so now I have my helper on the other side, and I'm having him pull on the cable some. Alright, while I try and set this grommet into the body of the vehicle. And if you're still having trouble, you can barely reach in here, get hold of the grommet. If my hand fits in here, then most people's hands should fit. And just pull on the grommet. Pull through. So this right here goes into that long slot. Put it in place. Okay. Long 10mm socket.
And we'll just fast forward here as I tighten up the handle, put the harnesses back in place on that panel, and put that panel back up in place. And put the 7mm bolts that hold it in, as well as the kick panel.
Now feed the hood release cable back through all the same places it went before. And just pull your wire and you'll feed it through. Then just push it back into these clips and reclip them. And for this one back here, it helps to just use a flat blade screwdriver since it's kind of hard to get your hand in there. So just pry at it until it closes up. And we'll fast forward as Mike replaces that ground wire and the bolt that holds it into place and tightens it up. And now just continue to feed your hood release cable back through and into place. Once you've got the hood release cable to this point, you can replace those 3 10mm bolts right here and just tighten them up. Reclip the wire into this latch and then push it back into place until it snaps in. And then put the latch back into place and replace those 3 10mm bolts.
Alright, now once you got it fairly tight, just a good preliminary alignment is line it back up with those marks you made in the beginning. And tighten it up. And then what you want to do is you want to close the hood and open the latch. So you want the hood down so it's lined up with the corners of your fenders. And when you pull the latch, you don't want to feel a lot of tension. You want to be able to pull it pretty smooth. You should feel, when you pull the hood release lever, you should feel a little bit of a catch, and then it should pull pretty smooth. If you feel too much tension, you'll want to just raise this up just a little bit, and that should release some of the tension. And then if you don't feel enough tension at all and your hood's too high, then you want to move this down some. And once the hood's down, make sure that the lines here are lined up pretty well, and then you can pull your latch. I think I felt a little too much tension, so I'm going to raise it up just a little bit. Alright, a little bit of grease on your latch up here. And then spray on grease is a little better, but try and grease any of the moving points down in here.
We hope this video helps you out. Brought to you by oneaauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.